Hey guys, welcome back to Computational Biology with Python and Linux. In this video, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be learning how to search for things in the terminal or in command line. So instead of just randomly guessing directories and moving around the directory or file tree of your system, we're going to be able to actually search to find where we put things, which is great because I tend to forget where I put things a lot. So with that, not much else explanation wise, let's just jump right in. All right, so this for this lesson, we're going to be doing the terminal. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to use desktop, and then classroom, my files. Let's see, I'm going to do ls because I forget it's data something. It's been a couple days since I did a video. Data shell. So it's probably under your data shell. Now if we look, then we want shell lesson data, and then we want exercise data, I believe, and then we want writing, I believe. Okay, and now I'm going to clear this. Okay, so in here we have haiku.txt, littlewomen.txt, and then our thesis backup when we did the copying file stuff. So I'm going to type cat haiku, and you can see that it does a printout of our haiku poem. And so now we can actually search within this file, right? So that's gonna be our first thing we do. So grep not haiku. So what grep does is it will search through a file, and it will select lines from that text file that match whatever your input, your pattern is. So you can see it picks the lines out, and then it shows what matches our cue, right? So we had the tau that is seen is not the true tau until you bring fresh toner. With searching comes loss, in the presence of absence, my thesis not found. Yesterday I worked, today it is not. Yesterday I worked, today is not working. Software is like that. So you can see that the three lines that have not, my thesis not found, is not the true tau, and then today is not working, and today is not working were the three lines that grep pulled out, and then it highlighted why it pulled them out of the search term. Okay, so also grep is case sensitive, so if we do grep capital the haiku.txt, you can see that it pulls out those letters. Also note here that it pulls out thesis, right? And so it will pull out those three letters, and since we didn't include a space, it is going to contain or take that thesis word because it has capital T, H, and E. And so that line has capital T, H, and E. So we can restrict that though. So if we do grep W, the haiku, that will only search for words. So instead of any, the default for the grep the haiku.txt is to find any cases that it matches. So anytime there's a capital T, a lowercase h, and a lowercase e, those three letters, regardless of if there's spaces before, after them, whatever, it'll pull those lines. If you're searching for the word, capital the, then we add that W and say only look for words. So don't find capital T, lowercase h, and E connected to anything else, right? So that's why thesis was removed, or removed from our results, I should say. Okay. Let's see. So we can also search for phrases. So we do grep W is not, and then haiku. So in order to do more than one word, we have to put it in quotation marks. So you can do as many words as you want to search for, but you have to put them in quotation marks if there's a space involved. So another useful thing that we can attach or option for the grep command is this N, which stands for number, which means it will number the line that has it found, right? So if you look up here, we have my thesis not found. Today it is not working. Imagine if you are doing this for like a FASTA file, which is just thousands of nucleotides for a genes or for a gene. And you want to find this certain sequence. Say you're trying to design a primer for this gene or something like that. And you want to find a certain sequence. I could type it in with grep, and I could say, find these 20 nucleotides in a row, see if it exists, and it finds it. That's great. But now if you want to know what's around it, or where it is on that FASTA file, if you have a FASTA file that's like 1,000 lines, you're not going to go through line by line and be like, okay, I know it's in here, but I don't know where it is in here. So this N will tell you exactly what line it is, right? So if we run this for grep, find the IT for it, and as you see, because we didn't do the W command, it takes the IT from with, and it tells us that's on line 5. On line 9 we have one, and on line 10 we have one. Sweet. So we can combine commands too, right? So we can grep and W the what's going on here? I try to reconnect. I think I have a connection error. There we go. Okay. NW. Oh, no, I'm not. Let's see if we get a reconnect here. All right, so I'm gonna have to go back to my thing, desktop, classroom, my files, data, shell data, let's see, shell data, exercise data, and then, oops. Writing. Okay, now we're in the right spot. Okay, so where was I? So if I want, I can combine those commands. So I can do grep and W the, and then for haiku. So that'll say give us the numbers and only the ones that have our full words, which is great. So we have lines 2 and line 6. So we can also do another one. So we can do grep n, w, and I. I means don't worry about being case sensitive, so turn case sensitivity off. So if we do that for the, we should have, since we're saying it can be capital or lowercase, by doing this I option, we should have more. So you can see that first line, it's capital, and we said we don't care about capitalization, so pick up everything that has that. So the other thing we can do is grep n w, so n line number, w only full words, and then we can do v for the haiku. And so what v does is it searches in reverse order, right? Or no, excuse me, not reverse order, but reverse of the command. So what it's doing is it's saying, instead of give us all the lines with the, it's saying find all the lines that don't have the and print out everything that does not have the in it. So you can see for the, we have lines 1, 2, and 6. And then for the inverse of that would be to find all the lines that don't have it. And since we got rid of the negative I, let's add the negative I back into it as well, in combination with these, just so we can compare it better. So you can see for the, we had 1, 2, and 6, and then the opposite of that would be the ones missing, right? So 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So those are, that's the inverse of that search, where it prints out everything that is not does not contain the. So the other thing we can do is, let's go back a directory. So we just do cd space ... Remember, that goes up one directory. And if we ls, you can see that we're back in our exercise data, where we're just in that writing folder. And so now I'm going to clear. And what we can do is we can add this recursive option. So we can say grep -r. And so we've dealt with recursive before, where we did deleting files, right? So when we delete a file, sometimes we have to give it that recursive option and say delete this folder and then everything inside it, right? So we can use that .r again. We can say grep r yesterday dot, and that will say, okay, look for anything that has the word yesterday in it, not only in our haiku text, which was is in our writing folder, but in all of them. What did I say? Oh, I forgot the G in grep. So here we go. So it says, okay, I'm going to look in all the folders here, and I see that in writing, in the haiku.txt, we have yester. Oh, I forgot the day. The keyboard's being a little unresponsive. I don't know if that's a keyboard issue or a praxis issue right now. All right. There we go. So writing haiku.txt, you can see that we have, it looked in that folder and it found not only the haiku.txt here, in the case that it had the word yesterday, but also the little woman text that we had in that folder. It also pulled the lines for that. So sometimes if you have, you can have multiple files. You have an organism where the reads are broken up into multiple files or something like that. And so you can search through multiple files, or you forget, say you have a certain pattern of DNA, but you forgot what file you pulled it from or what organism it was in or something. you can search across multiple files this way using the recursive command. Okay, we'll do, and the last thing, let's do one more thing for grep. I'm gonna clear this out quick and then just get back to this small command line. We're just gonna do grep help. And so as you can see, there's a lot of other options that we didn't use. Matching only whole words, matching only whole lines. So if you did like the in quotations with spaces and you want to match a whole line, you can load patterns from a file. We'll get into some of the regular expression stuff that we're going to do. You can stop it after a number of selected lines. So there's a whole bunch of stuff you can do with grep. And so feel free to play around and search for things, I guess. So, all right, we're just gonna cut this one at this first part here. We'll get more into some examples in the next video. We'll do a part 2, but that's how you search for stuff within your directories. You can search across multiple directories for things within your text files. And so that can be very helpful when you have these genome files if you're looking for specific things. Because sometimes you get these sequencing files back and they are named very ubiquitous, or nebulous, combined ubiquitous and nebulous. And it'll be like the Illumina machine or whatever machine it ran on just kind of gives it this weird default name. And so you might want to look into the file and find a certain combination of words or something like that to figure out what this thing is. And so this grep thing is kind of a shortcut for that. But anyways, with all that being said, thanks for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, please hit like, please hit subscribe. We'll continue on. We're really going to finish out this finding things. I think I'm going to do one more finding things video, and then we'll actually get into some Python stuff. So back into Python stuff. So like I said, hit like, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.